Let's dive into this segment with our top focus on Bareilly, as the city in Uttar Pradesh remains tense following violent protests on 26th of September, sparked by demonstrators carrying I Love Muhammad placards who allegedly pelted stones outside the Allah Hazrat Dargah. Police have now arrested 70 individuals, including cleric Tauqeer Raza and his aide Maulana Tauqeer Raza. Authorities have also initiated demolition actions against properties linked to Mohsin Raza. Meanwhile, Congress MP Imran Masood and Samajwadi Party leader Shahnawaz Khan were placed under house arrest ahead of their planned visit to Bareilly. The AIMPLB, in a strongly worded statement, has demanded Tauqeer Raza's immediate release. All right, staying with the story, breaking inputs from Bareilly. What we're learning is that as the probe into Bareilly violence intensifies, fresh drone visuals of violence have been accessed by CNN News 18. Remember, these were protests that took place on 26th of September when locals clashed in the heart of the city over denial of permission for a demonstration in support of the I Love Muhammad campaign. This was on Friday last. And those visuals you can see are aerial footage, drone footage of the clash when it happened on 26th of September. It was a Friday, and this was soon after the Friday namaz. And so far what we can tell you is that the police in Bareilly have detained the close associate of an Islamic cleric, Tauqeer Raza Khan, in connection with the recent violence in Bareilly. But that visual, that in fact footage that we are bringing to you is of the drone footage of 26th of September, which has been exclusively accessed by CNN News 18. It shows the magnitude of the kind of violence, the number of people that had clashed with the police personnel over there as they were pushing them back. And there was much mob fury also witnessed on ground level. Anshul's joining me on the phone line. Anshul, what has been deduced from this drone footage so far?
Well, yes, if you look at this entire drone footage, it can very clearly be seen that how there was this massive crowd that had gathered over there and how this entire violence was eventually in.
All right, we'll try and reconnect with Anshul, but as of now, what we can tell you is that this is drone footage from 26th of September when police and locals clashed in the heart of the city. But more importantly, do understand that I Love Muhammad campaign has not been just spreading across Uttar Pradesh, but across the entire country as it is now gaining momentum. Let's quickly go back to Anshul. Anshul, yes.
So yes, these drone footages are of the day when the violence was incited. In fact, in Bareilly, and in these drone visuals, it can very clearly be seen that how people suddenly collected at these locations where they tried to attack the police lines that were made, and eventually, in retaliation, the police went ahead and made sure that the crowd is dispersed at the earliest. Because remember, there was in fact no permission that was granted to carry out this entire I Love Muhammad rally on last Friday. But even after that, after the announcements from the top leaders of the community, the locals were on the ground and they decided to carry out this protest, and eventually this violent protest, in fact this protest turned violent, due to which there were policemen who got injured. There were people who got injured in retaliatory action by the police. Now, till now, more than 55 people have already been arrested in connection with the violent clashes that broke out last Friday. And it is expected that over the next few days, the number of arrests will go up, because the police is in the process of identifying more and more antisocial elements who were part of this crowd and were actually trying to somewhere or the other sabotage the peace in that entire area. Now, over the last 3 to 4 days since the time the incident has happened, there has been peace in Bareilly. Curfew was imposed for a few hours as well. But yes, the Yogi Adityanath government has also gone ahead and started bulldozer action in the district as well. So definitely there is a lot of action that is being done by the government. The message from the government is very, very clear, and the Chief Minister also didn't mince any words while giving out this very clear message that if at all anyone tries to play with the law and order of the state, a similar action would be taken against them, an action that would be remembered by generations. So definitely the government is very, very clear. The administration is very, very clear that there will be no tolerance to any sort of antisocial elements or any person going ahead and carrying out any sort of violence to disturb the law and order situation, and that is something that has been done. But yet again, these visuals that you are seeing on your screens right now actually tell a very clear story that how this entire protest seems to have been planned in a very meticulous manner, so that more and more pressure could be built on the police and eventually a larger message can be given out to people across the country.
All right, stay with me. I'm also joined in by Deepak Bisht, who's in fact joining us from Bareilly. Deepak जी, क्या जानकारी दे सकते हैं? दो अरेस्ट बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण हैं. एक तो तजीम और तौकीर रजा खान. तौकीर रजा खान क्लेरिक हैं और तजीम कहा जा रहा है गौ तस्कर भी है. तो इससे क्या इंडिकेशंस मिल रहे हैं? किस तरह प्लानिंग हुई है इस पूरे क्लैश की?
देखिए, बड़ी खबर है और क्योंकि बरेली हिंसा में ये दोनों आरोपी शामिल थे, दोनों हिस्ट्री शीटर है, यानी पहले से ही बदमाश है। और जिस दिन शुक्रवार को जुमे की नमाज के बाद जिस तरह से पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ था, उपद्रव हुआ था, जगह जगह प्रदर्शन हो रहे थे, तो इन दोनों की मूवमेंट कोतवाली इलाके में थी। और इदरीस और इकबाल जो दोनों बदमाश हैं, इन दोनों ने उसी वक्त जो एसपी हैं, एसपी के गनर से एक गन भी छीनी थी, एंटी रॉयड गन, जिसे भी बरामद किया गया है। आज पुलिस को इनपुट मिला था कि ये सीबीगंज इलाके में आएंगे और जिसके बाद इनके ट्रैप में पुलिस ने इनको रोकने की कोशिश की है। उसके बाद दोनों ही बदमाशों ने पुलिस पार्टी पर फायर किया, जिसके बाद जवाबी कार्रवाई में पुलिस ने दोनों के पैर में गोली मारी है ताकि उन्हें काबू में किया जा सके। और उसके बाद दोनों की गिरफ्तारी हुई है, दोनों के पास से।
All right, let's quickly go back to Anshul. Deepak ji, आप हमारे साथ बने रहिए. Anshul, as you heard, there are multiple arrests being made. There are fresh reports. All right, we'll try and reconnect with Anshul, but staying with the story, getting in some more fresh breaking inputs. In fact, Deepak was just now sharing with us about this big update in the Bareilly violence case. The Bareilly police have carried out an encounter with two prime accused rioters. Their names are Idris and Iqbal. Both were injured in the exchange near CB Ganj. Two country-made pistols have been recovered from them on the day of the violence near Kotwali. Idris and Iqbal were accused of firing at the police team. Let's quickly go back to Deepak Bish, who continues to stay with us. So, Deepak ji, all right, we'll try and reconnect with Deepak as well. But as Deepak was highlighting that these two individuals, the two prime accused, are also history sheeters, which perhaps also explains why these two country-made pistols have been recovered from Idris and Iqbal. They've been accused of firing at the police, and that is why in defense the police had to fire back at both of them. The reports that are trickling in are indicating that Idris and Iqbal have been injured during this encounter with the police, but the big update coming in on the Bareilly violence case is that the Bareilly police have carried out this encounter with the two accused rioters. Remember, several arrests, over 50 people have been arrested. One of them happens to be a cleric as well and a cattle smuggler. These two other accused rioters who have been encountered today by the police are Idris and Iqbal. There was an exchange near CB Ganj in Bareilly, and two country-made pistols have been recovered from both of these rioters. On the day of the violence near Kotwali, Idris and Iqbal were accused of firing at the police team as well. So far, what we can tell you is that they have been injured during the encounter. We are awaiting reporter inputs on their current condition, but the Bareilly police are cracking down completely on all of these mobsters, these rioters who led to the violence on 26th of September. Remember, it was on 26th of September that those visuals, in fact, that we have brought to you, we've accessed from 26th of September, aerial footage showing the kind of magnitude of that entire mob fury that happened soon after the Jummah Namaz prayer was over. They were carrying placards of I Love Muhammad. Anshul's back with us. Anshul, if you can, please take us through the role that Idris and Iqbal have played today. Both these rioters have been encountered, and if you can take us through their condition at the moment, what are you learning?
Well, the condition is stable and they are being treated in a hospital in Bareilly itself. What we are being told that they were actually involved in the rioting that happened on the 26th of September, and their clear involvement was that they even tried to fire shots at the police officers who were trying to control the riots. Not only this, but also they went ahead and snatched an anti-riot weapon from the anti-riot forces as well, and that weapon has also now been recovered by the Bareilly police. So this is a big success for them. because two people who were on the forefront of creating law and order situation, of creating tensions in the district of Bareilly, have now been brought to the books. They have finally been arrested. And remember, this arrest happened after a close encounter that happened between the police and both these accused. But this is very pertinent to note at this point in time, that the manner in which these encounters and arrests are happening, one thing that the Bareilly police is now believing in is that this was not an organic protest that happened in Bareilly. In fact, this was a very pre-planned riot that happened, and the manner in which these drone visuals have now come to the fore, this clearly shows that how after messaging was done through social media apps, people started to collect. We can see in these visuals that from a roof of a mosque, people can be seen rushing down, and then just minutes after that, massive crowd collects over there and starts pelting stones at the police. They were carrying some weapons with them as well. So definitely this was a pre-planned riot, is what the UP police believes at this point in time, and the manner in which these arrests are happening are clearly vindicating the point of the UP police that
So Anshul, I want to quickly bring you in on this entire aspect of the criminal antecedents of all of these rioters who are currently accused. Tazim is a cattle smuggler. Idris and Iqbal, both of the rioters who have now been taken into police custody after this encounter, are also believed to be history sheeters, which perhaps also explains why there was a recovery of 2 country-made pistols as well. So, is this a larger criminal conspiracy behind the kind of mob violence we are seeing now sprout, not just in Bareilly but across Uttar Pradesh?
Well, definitely there is a larger plan that could have been in place, and this is what the UP police believes, and it is in this direction that their entire investigation is going on, because the evidences that have come to the fore, these evidences very clearly pinpoint towards these people who were involved in these rioting. And not only this, but also UP police has already come on record and have claimed that there were several people who were called from outside the district, outside the boundaries of Bareilly, just for the purpose of carrying out this protest. And yes, the messaging was very clear from all these protesters or these rioters, should I say, who the messaging was very, very clear, and this entire thing was probably done to give a larger message to people across the country and also in the state of Uttar Pradesh as well. So definitely there was a larger conspiracy, is what the Uttar Pradesh police believes. But yes, there are other evidences that the UP police now needs to gather. But the first focus of the police is to actually go ahead and make sure that all these people who were involved in rioting, they could be identified, and then eventually action could be taken against them as deemed necessary by the laws. And then eventually make sure that whatever damage has been done to either public property, that can also be recovered, and also a larger message could be given out from the side of the administration and the government as well, that such actions would not be taken lightly by the UP police or the UP government.
All right, stay with me, Anshul. Remember, Bareilly stays on the edge at the moment, because till Tuesday, the State Home Department had also issued orders for suspension of the internet, even mobile services, SMS and broadband services as well. We will continue with that, but before we go back to Anshul, let's bring you some reactions as well.
ये पार्टी का डेलीगेशन हम लोग जा रहे थे, और हम तो 2 ही लोग थे यहाँ से, मैं और शाहनवाज साहब दोनों ट्रेन से जा रहे थे, और ट्रेन से ही वापसी भी थी। 11:30 बजे पहुँचना था और 1:30 बजे हमारी वापसी भी थी। लेकिन ऐसा हालात हो गए, मुझे नहीं समझ में आता कि बिल्कुल एकदम हर चीज़ के ऊपर पाबंदी, कि देश के अंदर जो माहौल है, जो हालात बने हुए हैं, क्या पोस्टर दिखाने के ऊपर टांगे तोड़ दे रहा हूँ। फतेहपुर के अंदर मस्जिद में, मज़ार में घुस करके तोड़फोड़ की जाती है, कब्रों को तहस नहस किया जाता है, पुलिस की बैरिकेडिंग तोड़ दी जाती है, पुलिस का डंडा नहीं उठता है। चुनाव हारने का डर सता रहा है, इसलिए मुसलमान के ऊपर लाठी, डंडा, बुलडोजर, गोली सब चलाने का काम हो रहा है। और ये जो नफरतें हैं, इन नफरतों की बुनियाद के ऊपर उन तमाम नाकामियों को छुपा करके चुनाव के एजेंडे को अपने चलाना चाहते हैं।